Not to alarm anyone, but we are already halfway through 2024. 6 months have come and gone, and this is everything that I watched in June. And I watched some decent things this month. Some of them were really, really good, and the rest were just like kind of okay-ish, but nothing bad. It's always good when you have a month of not watching anything bad. So let's start off with the first thing that I watched in June. Ghosted. And you're already thinking, you're just contradicting yourself, sister. You just said you didn't watch anything bad. I found small pockets of enjoyment with Ghosted. I thought it was an okay-ish film. I enjoyed the first half a lot more than the second half, because once this became more spy-y, at least I do more of the spy action things, I got a little bit bored, because I was just having fun with like the back and forth chemistry moments between Chris Evans and Ana de Armas, and her wig. Her poor wig. And there was also a small section of this film for like a solid 3-5 minutes. There are so many cameos of Chris Evans' friends, his workmates, and you know, they were fun because they just kept popping up. And then I watched Steel, a documentary, Steel, a Michael J. Fox movie, and I just really liked how they blended documentary elements with kind of like film reenactments, moments from his like past films and shows and whatnot, and I just really liked how it just blended so seamlessly between the things and how it felt like a narrative, like it felt like a movie. It's called Steel, a Michael J. Fox movie, and it felt like a film, and I really enjoyed that. So I thought this documentary was really good. You know, it had me tearing up at parts. I think it's so sad when something you've loved your whole life and you've spent your whole life doing and you now find it difficult to do that. I always just find that sad for people, because how can you stop doing something you've loved for so long? And then Tetris, which I assumed was going to be a film, kind of like documentary style, biographic film. I thought this film was great. It was so thrilling. Is it about Tetris? In the smallest sense, yes. It's all about trying to like get the rights to it, claim the rights, have the rights to make and develop and produce and put it across different platforms, you know, from a computer game to like a console game in arcades and all stuff like that. And it is so thrilling. There is a car chase scene at one point and I was like, what's gonna happen? Are they gonna make it out alive? Are they gonna make it back home? It was crazy. If you have, I don't even play Tetris. The closest I've come to Tetris is the Tetris dance on Just Dance. That's my experience with Tetris. So I was just watching this to see what it was all about. No idea. I had no idea what it was going to be and how much fun I was going to have with it. It's a thriller. I think it says it's a thriller, and it definitely was thrilling. And then I rewatched The Hunger Games A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I rewatched this with my sisters before she went off to Florida, because she's working there for a couple of months. And it's a great film. I loved it just as much as the first time. The songs are great. The thing I love the most are probably Lucy Gray's songs. Robots. That was a good film with Jack Whitehall and Shailene Woodley, and I am loving this trajectory of Jack Whitehall's acting career. From a speaking role in Frozen that got cut short, that got cut out, to him starring in a film. I love it. And this is literally just a rom-com romance story of robots, of androids. In a world where they have like robot servants that exist in the world, just helping you with like daily tasks like clearing up the bins. You're not allowed to have a clone of yourself, but it appears that a few people do, and you kind of feel bad. But it was really funny. There's just one gag to do with handbags, like to do with purses, that runs throughout, and it's quite funny. And then The Fall Guy, the one and only film I watched in the cinema. So I was so desperate to watch this film, and I finally got to with one of my sisters. When I came out of the film, I was adamant, yeah, I'll put it on great, but I literally spent the whole train ride home talking about this film. It's the best. It's Ryan Gosling is on the up and up. I say that, he's always been up. He's always been going. But he's filmed Crazy Stupid Love, Barbie, and now The Fall Guy are my favourite films by him. I've watched many of his films, but those are the ones, because I just love him in comedy roles. The way he delivers certain lines and how he's just is just so simple. He doesn't try hard to be funny, he's just got it. And him opposite Emily Blunt, a British gem, they're just so funny together. And I like action films when there's a certain type of action with the, like, certain type of scenes. And this is all to do with like stunt action scenes, and oh my god, one thing I liked the most about this film was the behind the scenes of all the stunts, what go into it, and then like the behind the scenes of stunts towards the end of the film. It just went so crazy towards the end, but I wasn't bored during these action scenes. I was enjoying it, seeing all the different types of things, different people that work on it. It was great. And then also the promotion of bringing stuntmen to promote the film and all, like, I loved it. It's great, they need more recognition, but I understand why sometimes there isn't more recognition for stuntmen, because that could become quite dangerous. But I really enjoyed The Fall Guy. I think it's one of my favourite 2024 films I've watched this year so far. So that is great praise. And then Poor Things, and I felt like a poor thing watching it. I kind of thought I wouldn't enjoy this film. It's definitely not my cup of tea. I can see why some people like it, but it just wasn't for me in any sense. In any sense, it wasn't for me. I liked Emma Stone's performance. I liked the costumes. I liked the set designs. I liked, you know, all kind of like technical stuff for it. But the story itself, it was just a little too weird for me. And there's one point in the film where it just turns into a new direction, and it just wasn't for me. And it's also a little boring, quite boring. There was moments where I did laugh, and I was a little bit entertained, but overall, I just weren't feeling it. It was just too much for me. And then Marry Me. That was a good film. A silly little rom-com. It's J-Lo and Owen Wilson. Quite an odd pair. I don't know if they've been paired up in real life in any scenarios. Quite odd to see them in a film together. J-Lo is literally playing herself. Owen Wilson is Owen Wilson, and I just find him so charming and endearing that in this relationship with J-Lo, I was rooting for them. I was rooting for their happiness. A high school maths teacher, or a school maths teacher, and a pop star. An unlikely duo, just like the actors playing them, but I thought it was really cute. And I was just rooting for them, because they both have humanity to them, and I really enjoyed it. And then Queen Charlotte, A Bridgerton Story, reactions coming soon. I've watched the whole show, just got to edit it now. And let me tell you, I was having fun in the first half, seeing like the behind the scenes, the backstory to the romance of Queen Charlotte that we know there's a couple there. There's a romance there in the Bridgerton season, but now we actually see how it came to be. And then in the second half, I was destroyed. Mainly just in like the last 5 minutes of the last episode. I'm going to put it in great. I probably need to watch it a second time, because this one felt, compared to the Bridgerton show, there was so much like drama going on, things like making it really exciting and funny, whereas in this one it was quite slow. Not in the sense it was slow and boring, but just it was slow. And we were seeing it grow and develop, and there was just 2 episodes which are just like the same episode, one from her point of view, one from his point of view, and it's interesting to see the difference between them. There wasn't a lot of drama popping up from loads of different side characters. There was one storyline. Lady Danbury, okay. Okay, Lady Danbury, I see you and I respect you. But yeah, no, I'm sure if I watched this again, I would likely probably put it up higher. I just need to get into it a bit more, because it was a little slow going in the beginning, but just developed into something that really hurt my heart. Same with Masters of the Air. The first episode, I was like, because my sister was raving about it, absolutely loving it. I watched the first episode and I was like, I don't quite get it. Or I was probably only 30 minutes into the first episode. And then I was like, why am I tearing up right now? Why am I crying? There were so many moments in this show, just certain scenes. There's one scene. So this is Masters of the Air. It's based on the American Air Force that was helping out during World War II. There's just one scene where they sent out, I don't know, like 30 planes. Only like one plane made it back. it was just crazy, like hearing all the panic in people's voices over like the radios, like, did you see a parachute? Did you see a parachute? They're going down, they're going down. Oh, it was too much. It's just the best. The best. Now that I think about it, it was the best. It was emotional. I cared so deeply about every single character. Again, certain action films, I wouldn't say it's an action film, say it's more of kind of like a drama film. Certain action scenes, I get bored because either they go on too long or whatnot. But after watching Top Gun Maverick, I've come to realise that my favourite type of action movie is things to do with planes. I don't know why, just like them just soaring through the sky, especially in this one with a lot of shooting through the sky and dropping bombs and whatnot. Oh, they were some intense scenes, and especially just the fact that I knew this but didn't even realise this, that if their plane went down and they did ejecting time or whatever, they could be landing in enemy territory and then they literally become prisoners of war, or they just get shot straight away. And war films just always get to me because it's real life, man. It hurts. It's crazy that things like this happened and still happen. But I did really enjoy this show. I didn't even realise it was based on a true story until the end, where they showed like who each character's real life person was and what the end of their story was. You know, it had a happy ending. It was good. It felt, and also the musical scores as well in certain moments just got you so, and even the intro to the film, to the show, each episode where the intro plays, it's so long. You click skip intro and there's still like 30 seconds, like they still play with the intro. But the score for the intro was epic. There's so many moments in this show that felt epic. So if I were to recommend you anything that I watched this month, honestly, I know the Fall Guy I have in best, but I would recommend Tetris and Masters of the Air. Both great things. And something unexpected. Maybe Robots or Marry Me. But that was everything that I watched in June. What did I miss? I feel like there is a bunch of things that I did miss. Like movies. I think there's one called Hitman or something with Glenn Powell. I've heard kind of good things about that, if I'm misremembering or not. But what else should I watch that I have missed? And what was the favourite thing that you watched this June? Like I already said, Queen Charlotte reactions are coming very soon. Hopefully in the next couple of days, maybe by the end of this week. But thanks for watching. Bye!